Hello, world. How are you doing? Tara Seymour coming in today for day 10, broadcast 1 of Find It, Feel It, Free It. So I'm having a very slow morning. I have actually, again for me, first day of what's going to become a new life, and I was actually planning to go to the mountains today. That was my plan. Give myself space in a place that I know works for me, and the combination of Mother Nature and how my own body's showing up, which is okay, but not okay enough that I probably should venture out on a long journey by myself in my car on an emotionally charged world around me when I'm not just feeling rock solid within it. So I am hopefully I'm morally making the choice that um, prevents any possibility of me being behind a wheel and not in good shape to drive. And sitting with aligning that with my own deep desire and knowing that I could use a break. And for me, a break usually means space away from humans right now. So, in alignment with that, like I said, have not slept. It's this process of talking and starting to explore what freedom means to me has kicked off a fascinating experience of more and more awareness and deeper ahas and new patterns. Hi, Lucy. That is my lovely cat who just got up. Um, and really a lot of deep dives into being really truthful with me of how I'm responding in my body to different thoughts and then in different times and situations. There's some thoughts or patterns that my response is very consistent. And there's other thoughts or patterns that my response is much more varied depending on how I'm doing inside me or what situation I'm in and what people I'm around. So, been contemplating that. I know. Okay, I see you. I'm glad you're up now, but I'm busy. So you got to wait just a minute. You could have got up earlier. How interesting that I had the Empress stones on the um, fusion table last night. And this is my lovely cat, definitely being an Empress, but she is unbelievably old. So she is at the place in time where I appreciate that she has Empress left in her. Okay, and now she's not going to use the step to get on the chair, just to prove herself. So this is not normal Lucy behavior. This is Lucy really wanting to be a part of the broadcast. So um, she's coming out. Maybe she's out here because um, the next piece I want to transition to talking about is for me. A piece to being freedom is being honest with myself about what things prevent me from feeling free. So when I wake up today and I talk about my body not being quite where I want it to be, what's going on today is some real symptoms of quite intense anxiety. So chest muscles wanting to just hammer in really hard and curve me in, a lot more attention in my back than I carry normally. And my heart rate gets very erratic. I put it on a heart rate monitor to validate it. Erratic enough that if I called, medical world would tell me to go in, but because this has now been going on for 12 years now, over 12 years now, I don't go running in because I've concluded that whatever it is my body's telling me, um, running in and using up a whole lot of resources um, doesn't really make sense when I've done that before. But I do back off. So, what I realized is I need to be gentle with me and I need to honor that currently anxiety is causing me some trouble. So, anxiety is usually fear of the future for me, fear of being able to move forward, fear of the unknowing. Makes perfect sense to where I'm at right now. But I put out a call universally this morning for help, which is what I do. Literally just see, sense, imagine within myself that I need help, feel what I'd feel like if I had help and support, and then put that feeling out. And I did it. And shortly after that, a friend of mine texted asking if I'd like to join her at her house for a fire ceremony tonight. And so that was what I needed, was to know I wasn't going to spend today fully alone. And ending today with what I'm going to call a freedom fire ceremony. I'll probably do a little bit of work, what I would call freedom for the collective. So that's now my idea of the collective. It will certainly tie into my find it, feel it, free it, which does not involve me coming up with my own idea, just working with the feeling. And I will spend the day probably experiencing all sorts of little waves of fears in that come up to let me know that they're time to be let go of. And so I'll spend the day kind of writing them down and sitting with the feeling of them for a moment, thanking them and appreciating them for coming up. And then I'll feed them to a fire tonight. And for me, the knowledge that I'm going to get that opportunity to engage with fire tonight, I'm going to get to do it in a warm house that happens to still have a real fireplace. So that happens to make me very happy. And that's the energy that I'm going to sit in right this minute for my Find It, Feel It broadcast, session 1 today. So for anyone just joining for the Find It, Feel It, Free It broadcast, if you're doing it my way, all you do is figure out your version of freedom, because that is yours to figure out. It can change every time. When you have an idea of what freedom feels like for you, and for me right now, it's anticipation of a freedom fire tonight and an opportunity to really engage with the elements and let go of some stuff. That's what I'm allowing the feeling to move through my body. And to help that feeling move through, I'm going to do what I call heart focused breathing or coherence breath. I'm going to actually just use a rhythmical breath this time. My body's very entrained to that. So that's the same amount of time in as out, with a special focus that each breath energetically is flowing through my heart or chest area. I invite you to breathe with me if you're on, feeling freedom and using your breath to move it through all of your centers. All together now, let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. It does amaze me how many people come on and listen, and more are starting to come, and then people don't stay on for the breathing. I've learned it the hard way. There's something magical to actually physically doing the practice, even if you don't notice something in the moment. For me, the feeling of engaging with fire often comes with quite an intense release, so I will be able to anticipate that through the day. Okay, that's about as close as I'm going to get in a couple minutes. I will be continuing to work through the day on this breathing because it will help me keep my physical body from getting more distressed than it is. And it's okay right now. This is very normal, but this is the life I live. So I'm sharing the anticipation of the freedom fire tonight and appreciation that I have the tools to be able to work with what I'm dealing with today. Thank you for everyone who's joined this broadcast. Tara Seymour from Stockbroker to Firewalker, coming in on day 10, broadcast 2 or 1 of Find It, Feel It, Free It. My own version of a global movement for freedom, inclusive and open to everyone, no matter how else you are involved. I'll see you back in a couple of hours.